It's hard to believe that it's been nearly 5 years since the Xbox Series X launched. While it's become our favorite console to play on these days, getting one back then wasn't easy. And physical game releases have been pretty limited since then.
Despite that, we've managed to build a solid collection over the years. And today, we are going to take you through our 2 shelves of Series X games and show you what we've picked up along the way.
Well, we're finally here at our Xbox Series X collection. And this is one of our absolute favorite consoles to play on. It's got great hardware and great backwards compatibility. But, a lot of people don't really see much of a point in collecting for this console. But we, from the start, we wanted to still add to our Xbox collection.
Yeah, I think that it wasn't, it started with me on the Xbox One. There's no other way to put it, but my love for Xbox grew. And it became my main console. It was already your main console. And so when the Xbox Series X came out, I think we just kind of went all in.
And it's not just the Xbox Series X, right? We also enjoy the Xbox Series S, but since we're physical game collectors, that is more reserved for traveling and for Game Pass, although obviously I play a lot of Game Pass on the Series X. We play co-op games on there. So overall, it's been a great upgrade. But as we've already mentioned, it took us a couple of years to get one because you couldn't readily get one during COVID. So it was a very difficult console. So we were essentially still playing on Xbox One and PS4 at that point. But, since then, we haven't looked back. And it is a weird console to collect for because, in a sense, due to the limited availability of physical releases, it's sort of self-curated itself over time because we haven't picked up every single game we played.
No.
And in a lot of ways, as you've said in other videos, we wanted to get the physical for a game we played digitally, whether it was through Game Pass or a game we previously purchased. Then we would just add that to our collection. So it's been much smaller than the Xbox One collection and the 360.
Yeah, and I think that's been okay actually for me in a way because, we have such a large collection of games overall throughout all the different consoles we collect for. So this one's been a little bit more special that I get excited when I find out that one of my favorite games is going to get a physical release on the Xbox Series X. And that just makes me be like, we got to get that. We got to get that for our collection. So yeah, exactly. This is naturally a more curated collection amongst our overall game collection.
And then one example that I always tend to use when collecting for the Series X is Control Ultimate Edition right here. So this is the actual Xbox Series X upgrade. But this is a standalone release with all the DLC on there. But we also had this one, which says Xbox One, but it is for Xbox Series X as well. So you can play this on both. And this one also comes with a DLC. They're both almost identical, but both different achievement lists as well. So this is, in fact, the Xbox One version with the DLC, and this is the Series X version with the DLC. But if you take these and look at the spine, they are identical. So if you went to a game store and looked at this, you probably think this is the exact same version of the game. But it is, in fact, 2 different ones. So something to keep in mind when you do collect for this one. Then, keep an eye out for the ones that are actually Xbox One and the ones that say Series X. So, all right. And as always, as you say,
we like to put our games in alphabetical order as it makes it a lot easier to find what we need and when we need it.
What better place to start than this banger right here? So we have Alan Wake 2. This is the deluxe edition. And we had to pre-order this with limited run, I believe. But I did play this one at launch. So I used some Microsoft points. And I always recommend that, if you're not part of that Microsoft Rewards program, just join it, do some searches, do some activities every day. And then you can use it towards some digital games as well if you really want to play games like this day one. Because this one wasn't supposed to get a physical release, but then as we've seen now in later years, they tend to do the day one digital only, and then they do the physical later. But we got this one with the collector's edition, right? So that was pretty cool. And this one comes with the Night Springs expansion, Lake House, and then a bunch of other like skins for your shotgun and some outfits and stuff like that. So, but I thoroughly enjoyed this one. Played it start to finish, all the DLC. I think you saw me play most of that. Really great game. And of course, it comes with Alan Wake Remastered, so that would be like the third time we own that game. So we probably don't need any more versions of that one. So, but highly recommended playing Alan Wake 1 and 2. Great games. And here's Aliens Fireteam Elite. So I haven't played this one yet, but I'm a little bit behind on the Aliens games. But I heard this one is pretty good, actually, for being a different type of game, because usually they do first-person shooters, or we saw Alien Isolation was more of a survival horror stealth game. So, but I am looking forward to playing this one, and I believe it is co-op as well.
Uh-oh, so you might rope me in?
Possibly, yeah, we'll see. And here is Alone in the Dark. This one was delayed a couple of times, but we finally got our hands on the physical of this one. I considered getting the collector's edition for this, but I feel like it was too expensive, and I'm not even sure. I think it comes with a game and a steelbook and a statue, but haven't gotten into this one yet. It's just one of those things where I was very excited, as you remember, to play this one, but then they delayed it a couple of times, and then I kind of lost interest. And then instead, I think I played Alan Wake 2 at that time. So, yeah. But, you know, still looking forward to it. I haven't heard that this is a masterpiece or anything, but still looking forward to it, since I've been a fan of Alone in the Dark for a while, and it's been a while since they've actually made a really good Alone in the Dark game.
Now, we've both played this one.
Yep.
And
Among the Sleep Enhanced Edition.
I don't remember if I want to say you recommended this to me or you made me play it or which one it was, but...
Well, I don't feel like I could ever make you play something, but like same thing in, you know, vice versa. Like, but I think I knew that maybe you were looking for a slightly easier game or shorter game, because I think this is like maybe 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
Just to even complete it with all the achievements. But yeah, I don't think we were a big fan of this one. So you play as a baby, basically, or a little child, and you're crawling around. And I'm not even sure if I remember the story entirely, but there's some trauma in there and some weird stuff. So
it was strange to me, because I remember before I played this one, a lot of people, at least on like the social media platforms and stuff, were really like raving about this game. People like seemed to love it. I did not love this game at all. I was not happy with it. The controls, like everything about it was just not my favorite, but that's me.
No, I agree with you. I didn't really like this one as much, and we got the physical later on. I think we found it for a good deal, and it was still sealed and everything, but yeah, it's one of those weird ones where... Yeah, I don't think we really cared much for this one.
But if you're interested in playing a horror game where you play as a baby...
which should be at top of everyone's wish list, you know, to play a baby...
baby horror game.
Baby horror game, baby simulator horror game.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, next one is A Plague Tale Requiem. And I played this one on Game Pass, so I do feel like this one was... drawn out a little bit. I still enjoyed it. I thought it was a great game. Still great writing, great gameplay. It's a little bit tougher than the first one, I would say. I still think the first one is better, but definitely worth playing if you played the first one, and then giving this one a try. Surprisingly hard to find a good deal for this physical, because it just seemed to just hover at like the $40-50 mark for the longest time, and I think I just found it for like 30, maybe something like that. So not an easy one to find these days, as you'll see with some of the other physical releases here. But definitely worth playing though. But yeah, I felt like they were dragging it out a little bit towards the end, where it's almost like they didn't want the game to end. And yeah. And this is A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead. This is by the people who made Remothered, those horror games. So I would again assume that this is a horror game as well. I've seen some gameplay of it, and it looked good enough to get this one on sale last year, at Black Friday, I think it was. Haven't gotten into it yet, but we like the movies.
Yep.
So we've watched, there's 2 of them. There might be a 3rd movie, but we really liked A Quiet Place, the movie.
Yeah,
so.
and I know the trailers for this one made the game look pretty interesting as well, so I look forward to watching you play it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a very long game, but, I thought it was like a multiplayer game at first,
Yeah.
like those Friday the 13th and all those types of games, but no, it is a
No.
single-player game,
Yeah.
so. And here is Aragami 2. This is a stealth game, so kind of along the lines of the Tenchu Z, and I think I at least tried both of these. I haven't fully started both of them. I would obviously start with Aragami 1, which didn't get a physical on Series X or Xbox One. But this one did, so when we found this one in New York at, I think it was Book Off in New York,
Yeah.
I had to snag this one up because this company, Lince Works, they shut down,
yeah.
so they no longer exist. But really fun games from what I played. I played the first couple of sections of each game, and it has co-op as well. So I
Yeah,
think
sweet. No, I'd be
if you're,
interested in playing that one. Yeah.
I don't know if we've played many stealth, like pure stealth co-op games. They can be tricky though, because you have to really rely on the other person to not, get spotted and screw things up. So
No kidding.
Yep. So it's a true test of a friendship and relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, next one here is Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. I have to admit, I haven't played any Armored Core games yet. Like, I don't know, did you play any on like PS2 or?
No, but I think that the reason the Armored Core stick out to me is because we had like a mission to find a certain Armored Core. I remember in Canada that you were really looking for the 360 collection. And then also I think in Japan as well, we had some Armored Core that we were trying to add to our 360 collection. So I think when I saw this one on the Xbox Series X, I was just like, okay, obviously, I don't know, we're doing a thing with Armored Core. So, and I find that the games are not readily available. I don't see them everywhere. So it just seemed like a good one to add to the collection.
Yeah, strangely enough, and it's from software. And yeah, these tend to go up in price for some reason. This one hasn't, though. Maybe it is just like readily available on both PS5 and Series X. But here's another good example, and we may have come across it before, but this just stood out, that smart delivery thing that they advertise on the case there. That just means that there's an Xbox One version on here. If you pop it into the Series X, it's going to download and install the latest version of it. So if you're on the Series X, it's going to do the Series X version, but there's no guarantee that it's going to be on the disc. That's kind of what they opted for. So I just wanted to point that out if you are new to collecting for this console and wondering what that means. That just means it's literally downloaded from the internet, from their servers, and that's going to be the latest one. But if you did do it offline, you would essentially just install the Xbox One version of the game. So, yep. Okay, next one. This should be familiar to you as well, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because you pre-ordered this one for me.
Yep.
And you got me like that statue and all that stuff, which was a huge ordeal during COVID, right?
Yeah,
it was
it
Best
was.
Buy didn't have enough stock, and
Yeah, it was really odd how they did that one. For some reason, it wasn't like a collector's edition in a complete box. Instead, it was all separated, like separate pieces. And so, yeah, for some reason, the statue came later or they didn't have enough. And so I had to like kind of hunt Best Buy down in order to try to get a statue for you.
yeah. But I mean, we love the Viking lore, and this is definitely one I've been looking forward to. I was put off a little bit by the fact that this is like a 150-hour game at least with all the DLC and stuff, which, I did end up buying that season pass or whatever that edition was called that has all the DLC. But this is basically the Assassin's Creed I'm at right now. I've played all the other ones. But I'm just like, after Odyssey, I got a little bit burnt out. When you do 100% in those games, you don't exactly jump to the next one. At least I don't. So these Ubisoft games take me like years in between because, it is very much a grind fest, so. But, looking forward to it. I heard it is a very good game, though. And here's Assassin's Creed Mirage. Slightly shorter. They promised to go back to more of the roots of the older Assassin's Creed games. So I think this was supposed to be some sort of a DLC to Valhalla, and then they just kind of made it into its own game. I might actually play this one before I play Valhalla, just to kind of get into Assassin's Creed again. But, again, it's going to be the same formula, but I think this one is like 20-ish hours rather than 150. So,
Yeah, that seems more doable.
yep. Probably something to pick up when you're running lower on time, I guess. Yeah. Next one here is Atomic Heart. This one I did play a little bit on Game Pass. It has since left Game Pass, but from what I played, I mean, I thought it was decent. I think it's just trying to be like a BioShock shooter with, it's futuristic with robots and stuff. So I haven't gotten too much into the story, but from what I played, it seemed pretty good. So I had to get the physical for this one. Because, this one also has been pretty expensive physically, especially those games that leave Game Pass. A little bit harder to keep track of them. But I think it was on sale last year for the first time in a long time. So just had to pick this one up, but I am looking forward to playing it. And here's more Ubisoft here. Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora. Another one I think was relatively cheap Black Friday, so I haven't gotten into this one yet, but people say it's basically Avatar Far Cry, so you can imagine what kind of game it will be then. I haven't heard bad things about this. People seem to like it, so if you're a fan of the Avatar movies, which I don't know how many Avatar movies there are now, but I watched at least one or two. Mm-hmm. But they're like making another couple, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, it's that typical Ubisoft formula, I guess. And here is Back for Blood. This one was, again, supposed to be the next Left 4 Dead, which I don't think anyone will ever be able to top or succeed, although it is the same studio that made those games. So similar to Evolve, I kind of sort of skipped over this one too. We wanted the physical, but I mean, it was dirt cheap, I think, for this one. But as you can see at the bottom here, it requires internet and Xbox subscription. So this, I think, might be online required, like one of those games, and also has the smart delivery. So not a whole lot is probably on this disc. So yeah. But, I don't know if it's something that we are going to try to do some co-op, or I think we booted it up.
I think we did. I thought we tried it out. Yeah.
I think, but then I think it was put off by all the online stuff, and we couldn't start missions without like someone else joining. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It may have changed since then. Like a lot of games do that, where they get feedback from players and stuff. And here is Balan Wonderworld.
Yeah, I think you picked this one up for me because I'm always interested in Square Enix games, and this one is a little bit different from the usual Square Enix, more of a platformer, and just looked interesting. And I believe this game may have kind of been a flop for them because, it went super cheap right away. You get this dirt cheap digital and I believe physical. So just one that we wanted to add to the collection, and so then we can play it from the physical disc rather than buying the digital version.
Yep.
And have it in the collection.
And someone did, I wish I remember the channel. It's a pretty big YouTube channel that did some testing on some of these Xbox Series X games, and this was one that he tested. And he said even with the smart delivery, it looks like both Xbox One and the Series X version is on this disc.
Okay, cool.
Which is, you just kind of have to test it out. I don't think there's any website that will give you any indication of what's actually on the disc. What's that website, like doesitplay.com or whatever, which hasn't been the best for Xbox games, really. It's good for PlayStation, but for Xbox, it doesn't list every single title that I've seen. But I think, something weird like that. So, but yeah.
Ooh, Balatro. Obviously, I think most people know about this game by now, as this one won some game awards. And it's a great game. I'm still actually playing this one, just trying to get all the achievements for it. And that's kind of been harder than I thought it was going to be. But thankfully, there's a ton of strategies, videos on YouTube. And I know our son, he's been trying to help me too with some strategies. And those strategies, they help. So, yep, making my way through Balatro. Love this game. I love how they added all these different games art to the cards. So I I think now you can even have Assassin's Creed cards if you want to. But of course, I have like Cult of the Lamb and Don't Starve and Stardew Valley. Like I've gone with all those types of cards, and I think that's just a cool little addition. But great game.
It's going to turn into like Fortnite collabs, like Balatro has collabs with everyone.
God, I hope so.
All right, here is Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. This was a game that I was actually pretty excited to play. Just fell off my radar after the initial kind of, I'm trying to think, the Game Awards or whatever that was announcing this one. And it is a Don't Nod game, which I do appreciate them as a developer and as a publisher, really, that they try different things. You know, they try to make... You know, there's Remember Me, there's Life is Strange, and then there's Banishers and, you know, Vampire and stuff. So they try different things and probably some magical elements in there as well. So, but you know.
Yeah, I remember this one was like a lot of hype around this game before it came out, and I haven't heard anything bad about it. It's just more been kind of just dropped off our radar.
Yeah, but still looking forward to playing this one someday. And here's Battlefield 2042. Again, probably not a game that you need to have physically because it's mostly online. There is obviously a campaign here, but considering how big these games are these days, you know, that depends on how much is actually on here. But I haven't heard a lot of good things about this one. And actually, now that I think of it, I'm actually not sure if this has a campaign. I think this is all online stuff. So, yeah, a little bit of a shame because I love Battlefield and I just don't play it as much anymore. But again, this was something that we bought from Best Buy, came with a steelbook, and I wanted to have the steelbook for this one. Okay, next one is Beyond a Steel Sky. This one I was a big fan of, or the first game I should say, Beneath a Steel Sky. I played this on PC so many times, really liked it. And fun fact, it's the same company that made this one as well, so many years later. So I had to get the physical for this, and we have the Steelbook edition as well. So yeah, this was a really good game for being more of a modern point-and-click adventure game. So.
And I think they do a cute little Steelbook name. Don't they do like Beyond a Steelbook or something?
Yeah, Beyond a Steelbook edition, of course. So.
I thought that was
cute.
It's
good. I really like this one. And here is Biomutant. I did try this one a little bit. I did like it. It's very unusual for like an action RPG. This one seems like the kind of game that would be fun in co-op, but I think it is just single player. So, but a game that I think we got a couple of collector's editions back in the day, or not really back in the day, a couple of years ago. But
like
yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this one. Like this seems like a very unusual like action RPG. So, you know, you get to customize your own, what is he, a raccoon or?
I'm going to guess raccoon.
Yeah, something like that. But you get to customize that like
That's
true
cool.
RPG fashion. Okay.
Here we go. What is this? Cyberpunk Bomb
Here,
Rush?
I'll take this slipcover.
I was
like
gonna
the,
say, I was like, I can't remember the Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. Sorry,
Funk, not Cyberpunk
Bomb
2077. Yeah.
So this game, I heard about this one a while ago because it is our closest kind of sequel that we can get to Jet Set Radio Future. And so I was super excited about it. You found me this awesome edition. Is this I Am 8-Bit?
Yep, that's what this like slipcover thing here came with. And yeah, I had a hard time finding this because there's like two different editions. There's one you can buy from Amazon and eBay or whatever. But the I Am 8-Bit one was like special with, it's a different artwork. And then it comes with this guy right
Yeah,
here.
no,
So,
that's super cool.
Yep.
And so I haven't started this one yet. And funny enough, our son actually started it more recently.
Yeah. A week ago?
Yeah, like a week ago. And he's like loving this game. And then he was surprised that I even knew about this game. And I was like,
he's like, you knew a game before I did?
yeah. And I was like, yeah, because this game is Jet Set Radio Future, basically. So now that I've been watching him play it, I am super excited to get started on it. So I'm going to be opening this copy pretty soon because this does not go on very good sales digitally at all. So, and we already own it, so I don't need to rebuy it.
Yep, exactly. And then get it from I Am 8-Bit. That's what I would do. Yep. All right, next one here, Bramble the Mountain King. And again, Norse, not Norse mythology, I guess. Yeah, I guess so. Norse creatures. Yeah, I love this one. This is great. This is kind of like a scary version of Unravel in a sense, with all the mythical creatures that you would expect from Norwegian, Swedish mythology, all these trolls and
nymphs, I think.
Nymphs and so, but it is like one of those 2.5D platformers, and it can be pretty tough too. I think you have to go through the game without dying, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, one of the achievements I watched you go through that, and that looked pretty hard.
Which I'm sure most people don't go for unless you do achievements, of course. But this was on Game Pass. But after it left, I was like, you know what? I want to support this developer, and it's like a Swedish indie developer, and I really enjoyed this one, and I recommend playing it if you are into that kind of Limbo. Unravel and Little Nightmares. Little Nightmares, of course. Yeah, another Swedish developer. So, but really fun. And here's the staple Call of Duties here. So it's Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I haven't played this one yet, so it's just I am less and less interested in playing Call of Duties, really. So I've said it in many videos. I'm still working on starting Black Ops 3, so I'm pretty far behind. So
they just come out too frequently.
I don't even know anymore. Like, I mean, you had Black Ops 6 come out recently, which I had a physical, but and here's Call of Duty Vanguard. I haven't heard a lot of good things about this one, so but it'll be whenever that time comes. I'll get through them and I'll play them, and I do enjoy the campaigns at least, but all the other stuff surrounding it that most people play, I don't care much for.
Oh my gosh, there's more.
Yeah. Here's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And I don't remember if people like this one or not. But again, I haven't played this one yet. So again, cross-gen edition. I think the other two had that too. So you can play it on Xbox One, you can play it on Series X. But this is kind of the reboot of the Modern Warfare games. But I don't know if they're as good as the old ones. And the next one is Callisto Protocol. And I actually did pre-order this one digitally, I think. I wanted to play it like at midnight or something weird. I would say it was around Halloween time. Didn't get the physical until much later. And as you know, this one is dirt cheap right now, even brand new. But I did play this one. I did enjoy it. I didn't run into as many bugs and issues as a lot of people did in the beginning. I know there were some annoying DLCs they released throughout, like with their season pass and stuff, but obviously not as good as Dead Space, as is advertised as being like a spiritual successor. Obviously, it's the same people behind Dead Space that made this one, so it's going to have a lot of similarities, but a lot more focus on the melee combat in this one. And but I thought this game was pretty enjoyable. So a lot of people had issues with sort of the true ending being hidden behind DLC and stuff like that, which it's one of those things, unfortunately. But next one's The Chant. This was just a game that I picked up, I think, from GameStop. It was pretty cheap. It's a survival horror game based on a cult, or at least involves a cult, and I have not played it yet. I've seen some footage of it, but I definitely like playing these survival horror games and stuff. So yep, worth picking up if you find it cheap. And there's Clock Tower Rewind.
Yeah, this is one that I think I actually pre-ordered from, was it Limited Run?
Yeah, I think
well?
so. Yeah, well, I should say, Limited Run.
Because I just thought this was so cool. This is a game that's very, very expensive if you're going to try to get it on, was it PS1 that it came out on? Can't remember now.
Yeah, probably PS1.
I want to say it's PS1. Very expensive game. And so really cool that they, I think also PC, but they remastered this game completely, but also like really staying true to the original. And I'm looking forward to playing it. I never got to play this on the older console or the PC, but it's definitely mentioned a lot. I mean, people talk about the Clock Tower games frequently, so looking forward to playing this. Maybe this will be one I'll do for next Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, always wanted to play a Clock Tower game, so this is a good way. And we don't do a lot of limited run pre-orders, really, so, yep.
Here we go, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII. and what is Reunion?
Yeah, Reunion. Yeah.
So I think like this one we own a couple of the other Crisis Core games. And so again, it's one of those ones where I was just excited to see it come physically to the Xbox Series X. So I wanted to add it to our console or to our collection because I do love the Final Fantasy series. I especially love Final Fantasy VII. So definitely one I wanted to have in the collection, but I haven't actually played this one yet. So I believe it's like a fighter game or fighting game. So I really need to like pick it up and actually play one of the Crisis Core games. I think the last one I played may have been on the PSP, but I am sure they've changed a lot since then. Cuisinier. I think I'm saying that right.
I think so. Yeah, sounds about right.
I'm actually playing this game right now. So we got the little collector's or limited edition version of this, and I just cracked this open the other night because I saw some more gameplay for this game. And I think also I want to play Fantasy Life. Right now that's just digital on all consoles, and I just didn't feel like really paying the $60 for Fantasy Life, and instead ended up just being like, you know what? I think this game, Cuisinier, is going to scratch that itch that I'm having for this like cutesy kind of having a job and you're cooking and you're running a little restaurant and you're a chef and you're fighting. And it totally has. This has been a really great game so far. I've been enjoying it and looking forward to continue playing it.
And then we have Dark Pictures Anthology Little Hope. I would say that we played this one, and I say we as in I played it and you watched me play it. Mm-hmm. A couple of Halloweens ago. Yeah. That's like our little tradition there that we do. So played Little Hope and really liked it. You know, this is like the Witch Trials, kind of the backstory there, and connection with obviously the real life story of certain characters and stuff. So if you played those Dark Pictures games, you know kind of what they're all about by now. And here's Dark Pictures Anthology House of Ashes. Played this one last Halloween, I believe, and I like this one as well. I think this one might be one of the better ones of the Dark Pictures so far.
Okay.
So this was kind of more of the Iraqi war, early 2000s, I think it was, right? So, but it goes back to the Mesopotamia, and kind of same thing with that one as well. And then here we have Dark Pictures, The Devil in Me. Haven't played this one yet, but I guess this is up for
that's next.
This year's Halloween. So
That's
looking
right.
forward to this one. This is about the first serial killer in America. So yeah, looking forward to that. But I haven't heard that it is that good, but it's always mixed reception, I feel, with these types of games.
We'll have to see, right? Yep. Darkest Dungeon 2. I have not started this one yet, but I am a big fan of the very first Darkest Dungeon. So these are great games, super unique games. Love this developer too. Like, they really like to listen to their fans, and I think they like to implement the things that fans mention into the DLC. So these are really, I don't know, they're like RPG, turn-based kind of RPG, but totally just different style, and really unique art style as well. So I love these games, and I'm looking forward to starting Darkest Dungeon 2.
Is this like a roguelite? Or,
yeah, it's kind of like a roguelite.
You
You
lose the characters and then they die, right? Like they're permanently gone.
You have characters that will run away if they go crazy, and like all sorts of things. There's like, I would guess roguelite would definitely be what you could call this one.
So it's like a turn-based version of Rogue Legacy.
But with less cutesy art for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Next one here is Dead Island 2. This has been developed, I think, for the past, 10 years or so.
Yeah.
Because I remember playing this demo at PAX like many, many years ago, maybe I would say like 2016, 2017.
We had a button from that PAX.
Yeah. and it's changed developers since then. But glad to share that, yeah, people seem to really enjoy this one as a great zombie co-op game, and this is
Cool.
definitely one that I put on our list to play. I'm not like a massive fan of Dead Island. I think they're good games. They're more fun in co-op, but this is definitely one that I have added to our what do you call
Co-op
the
list.
groups on our Xbox dashboard
Oh,
or
yeah,
in
the
our,
co-op
my
group.
games and apps? Yeah. All right, next one, Dead Space, or as I call it, Dad Space. So this is essentially a story about a man who just wants to have some alone time, and he goes into space to get that, but somehow his wife still finds him and haunts him throughout the entire experience, and he just wants to have some time, and he gets rudely interrupted by all these monsters and these necromorphs, but otherwise, I mean,
Actually, that's pretty accurate.
yeah, it's a good story. Like that, people should tell the story of Dead Space that way, but say this is Dead Space. I guess I missed the opportunity to say Dead Island on
I
the
know, I was
previous
going to
one.
say,
Yeah.
I always think Dead Island whenever we see Dead Island.
But anyway, enough of the dad jokes. But no, this remake of Dead Space is phenomenal. Is a must play. I am a big fan of obviously the original and all the Dead Space games. Dead Space 2 is my favorite, but if you had to pick, I would play this one rather than the original because it is better. I know a lot of you probably will disagree with that, but this game is great. And I still have to go back and do my impossible playthrough of it too. So I kind of savor these things. If it is like a last achievement and stuff, like I tend to savor my favorite games, but that is an absolute must play.
Yeah.
And the next one here is Deathloop. This was a PS5 exclusive for at least 1 year. I love this game. I think this one is great. Of course, this is by Arcane Leon, which makes Dishonored, and they're making a Blade game, I believe.
Interesting.
Yeah. But this one is great. I mean, it is kind of what it implies in the title here. You go through these loops and then you die at the end of it and you start a new one. You try to like uncover new secrets and new things, new upgrades along the way, and then you kind of get these cycles that you have to go through, and eventually you will kill all these assassins or kill all these bad guys that you go through in each day and each night cycle, then you have to do specific things there. So yeah, no, really fascinating game. I really like this one, and of course glad it came to Xbox eventually, but as far as I know, people on PlayStation really enjoyed this as well. So yep, really good game.
That
And
was
we
a
have
fun one to watch you play, actually.
yeah, it's lots of replayability, right? Because you just have these different loops that you go through, and you can only do specific things at specific times a day and stuff. Yeah, so I thought it was very fascinating.
Deluxe Edition Dredge. I think I've talked about this game a couple times because this was like one of those games that I would not have predicted being one of my favorite games of the year. The year that I played it. Who knows if I played it the exact...
Last year, I think it was, yeah.
Like last year, this was probably, one of my favorite games. And if you would have told me that a horror or fishing game was going to be one of my favorite games, I would have told you I have no idea how that's going to be possible. But this one totally has. And it's a really great game. I mean, even if you're not like into fishing game, I still think this is one worth playing. It has a cool story also in the background, and I just love the storytelling method in this game. And right away, that was the first thing I noticed, was the way the narrator was telling the story. Drew you in right away. Kind of reminds you of like a D&D campaign or something like that, even though it's not, and it's not RPG or anything like that. But yeah, cool game. Definitely worth giving a shot. And they keep adding great DLC to this game too. So I'm still on the last DLC that came out, I believe the Iron Rig. Just gotta get those exotic aberrations still.
Mm-hmm. And this is a PAL release here, but I think we got this one over here. But like a lot of copies, for some reason in the US, we ran out of out of copies, I guess. But this one also just came to Game Pass, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, here's Dying Light 2, Stay Human. Have not played this one yet. I did buy it close, not close to launch, but like shortly after. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I just lost interest in it at the time, but it's definitely on my radar to play this one. I played Dying Light 1 and I did enjoy it, so definitely one that I would like to play soon. Another zombie open world game, of course. You know, you can only have so many of those, I guess.
Speaking of open world, here's my open world RPG, Dragon Quest XI. I love this game and pretty proud to say I got all the achievements in this one. And the reason I'm proud of that, because it took a lot of time to do that, but I really did enjoy it. I mean, yeah, sure, some achievements were a little bit of a grind fest, but not as much as some other RPGs I've played. And I still really enjoyed this. And I enjoyed the story also in this game a lot. So while I haven't had many other Dragon Quest games really draw me in yet, and I know other people probably would say like Dragon Quest VII was probably a lot of people's favorites, and I'm willing to go back and play that one again. But this one was a Dragon Quest that really drew me in and made me like a believer in the series. So I love this one.
Yeah, awesome. Uh-oh, Elden Ring. Obviously one that we wanted to have for the collection. Everyone's favorite game, right?
Yeah.
Of the last couple of years, and oh my god, they've released like two semi-full games with Shadow of the Erd Tree and then the Night Rain that just came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm so far behind on these Souls-like games from Software, and I just feel like I have to start with Dark Souls or maybe even the Demon Souls. But yeah, definitely one that is on my radar, but it'll be a while until I play Elden Ring.
Yeah, I mean, this game looks amazing.
Unless, I was going to say, unless someone tells me in the comments saying you got to skip all the others and just play Elden Ring.
I would love to know that. If this one really is just like the be-all, end-all, and they've really perfected everything from the previous games and put it all into this one game, yeah, let us know, because I'm happy to jump forward.
Yeah, and then just like, Armored Core, like a lot of these From Software physical releases too are a little bit harder to find, especially on Xbox and stuff, you know, but that's just kind of how it goes.
Here is Fallen Legion. I think this is like two different games, or, two Fallen Legion games on one disc. And I don't know a whole lot about this one. This is one of those cases where Nippon Ichi Software, they rarely bring any games to the Xbox consoles. It's pretty much like this one, and I think there was like a shooting game. I'm trying to think, Raiden, like little cave shooter type game. Are like the only games they've really brought to the Xbox console. And I'm like trying to send a message to Nippon Ichi with my measly 1 sales here, telling them, please bring like Disgaea, please bring your RPGs and your strategy games to the Xbox consoles so I can start buying those physically as well. But I do think this is a strategy game as well, just like a lot of the Nippon Ichi games. But I just haven't played this one yet. But I will.
Wasn't there one game that I know a long time ago you made an unboxing video, but that was a Nippon Ichi.
Oh yes, that was
for Xbox One probably.
Starts with an L, La Mulala or something like that.
No, it's like is it like a chef thing or something?
Oh, that's Monster Menu. But
Monster Menu, there you go.
I don't think that's actually on the Xbox though. That one was for the PS4 too.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was for Xbox. Okay.
But we do have a collector's edition, but I think it's for Xbox One. It's called like La Mulala or something.
La Mulana, yeah.
Yeah, something like that is on the Xbox One.
Yep. All right, here we have Far Cry 6, the token Ubisoft Far Cry game here. I've not played this one yet. I think I am on Far Cry 5 right now. That's my next one.
Not too far behind.
No, exactly. So I go through phases where I just power through Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, and then I just like, okay, it's just going to be the same game over and over again, unfortunately. Although I like them all for the most part. I just know exactly what this game's going to be about and how you play it and everything. So, but yeah, Far Cry 5 is next for me, so this won't be a little bit until I play it. And here's one of the rare indie games that we really have on Xbox, which we always try to snag those up when we see them. And this is Phobia Saint Dinfna Hotel. It's not the easiest one to pronounce, but this is one of those like first person. I do believe it is a survival horror game. I'm not sure it's more of an adventure horror game, but it's supposed to be pretty good from what I've seen and the little I've played of it. And it is like I think it's a Brazilian developer, which I think we've seen lately that Brazilian game devs are becoming more prominent now, and releasing games on Xbox, which is cool.
Goat Simulator 3.
They just skipped 2.
I kind of love that about them. I mean, this developer, they just like throw out all the conventional rules with their games, I swear. So, and it's worked for them. Worked amazingly. And although I think when I first saw this game, I thought, well, who would want to play this glitchy mess of a game? And they go for it. And,
well, you know exactly who would play this glitchy mess of a game.
Oh, yeah. Our son loves Goat Simulator. He loved the first one, and he did me the pleasure of starting Goat Simulator on my tag, the very first one, and meaning that. And at that time, and still, I really like to finish my games once it's been started. So then I had to start playing Goat Simulator because I need to get the achievements in the game. But that's okay, because it made me really start appreciating the game. And although it is a glitchy mess, it's on purpose, and there's still very much a game in there. And there is a lot of great gameplay, a lot of funny moments, and the achievements kind of help you stay on task a little bit in a game like this. So, great game. Goat Simulator 3, even better, has co-op and all sorts of fun things.
This one looks way better, though.
Yeah,
it looks way more polished. It's not as glitchy, I think. And he vouched for this one. He said this one is actually a proper game. And he loves, I don't know if it was in the first one or this one, but he loves going to IKEA for some reason and wreak havoc on the showroom floors and meatballs flying everywhere, probably.
Yeah. And then, like I said, that one actually has like cool co-op, like things you can do together and stuff. So, yeah, this is a great, way more polished Goat Simulator.
Yep. And here is the only Gears game so far, at least, that we've had on Xbox Series X, Gears Tactics. I think this one got mixed reviews. I bought it because, we always try to have all the exclusives in the collection and stuff. So I don't actually know how this one is, but it is obviously more of like an XCOM style, I think. Yeah, what I've seen with Gears and Halo when they try to branch out a little bit with like the shoot 'em ups or the tactical games, I do enjoy them. Like, Halo Wars, and there's Spartan Assault. So I would like to give this one a try. I like the people that I've talked to about Gears Tactics, they seem to like it, but everyone who is a fan of the third-person shooter Gears, they thought this wasn't as good, of course. So
yeah.
And then here we have Gotham Knights. So this is very different from the Arkham games. It is by WB Montreal. So people that made at least Batman Arkham Origins. So this is a game that I've actually been suggesting to you that we play some co-op, because it's more of like I don't think it's an RPG, but it's more open world. Like you can customize a little bit more, and you have these 4 characters that you could play as, and you can be Batgirl, and I could be a Nightwing or Robin.
Yeah, no, I would be down to try this one. It looks interesting.
Or Red Hood, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think it might be on Game Pass right now, but, it's one of those games that, give it a try, and I guess not expect it to be Arkham City or Arkham Knight, then that might be a half-decent game, but we have it. And then next here we have, I think it is Greek, Memories of Azure. This is just kind of an unusual Series X only. I'm sure it came out on PS5 as well, but it wasn't at the time even playable on Xbox One. So this was like a Series X exclusive on Xbox at least. And we like Team 17, and this is kind of like would say it's like a platformer roguelite. It's pretty unforgiving. Yeah, it's kind of tough. Yeah, but I like the art style of this one, and I played a couple hours, I think, and like you said, it is pretty tough. Yeah. But yeah, I want to get back into this one and play some more. So, but yeah, like we said, anytime we get like an unusual indie game, we try to add that.
Yeah. Here is Hades. And this is one that took a while to get a physical on the Xbox Series X. So I was just excited to add it. This is a game, I feel like I should have already started this one. It's on my backlog. I want to start playing this one. I've seen a lot of really great things about it. I know they're even coming out with a second one now, so like I need to get on this one and start playing it because it looks like my style of game and it looks fun.
I think it was on Game Pass for a long time as
I
well.
know.
But, you know, just like everything that comes to Game Pass, like nobody has time to play
Well, I
all
think
of
that
this,
was
you
the
know.
thing. Like you're saying, it was on Game Pass, so we didn't buy it. And then once it went off Game Pass, I was like, oh my gosh,
Yep.
fine, get the physical of it. So
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty typical of our collection here. It's like either we played it briefly on Game Pass, then decided to get the physical, or we, you know, because it left Game Pass, we never got around to it. Then,
Yeah.
this is a great
it's
example of that.
it's a way of reminding me what I actually want to
Yep.
play on this console.
Yeah, that's what he said. This is a pretty well curated collection, I feel, versus some of the other ones. So
Yeah.
And here is another one of the few exclusives that we saw, Halo Infinite. This one, I was very excited to play this one when it came out, but it was one of those half-finished, unfinished games. It didn't have co-op. It was kind of a mess. I really wanted the console, never got it. So I still haven't played this game. Like, it's very unusual. I played all the other Halos and everything, but I have not played this yet. I would love to play this in co-op. Hopefully it works at this point and they actually have it live. But yeah, it's just not that I haven't heard anything bad about Halo Infinite, but I think it was so many delays. And again, if there's too many delays, I tend to kind of lose interest and then I move on to something else. So, but I still want to play it though. But yeah, unusual for me to not have played Halo exclusive, of course. So
Yeah.
of course, they're all exclusives, but not so much anymore, though, because they're releasing stuff on PS5 now, so.
True. Here is Harvest Moon One World. Again, I mean, how do I say this? I like some Harvest Moon games. I used to like the earlier Harvest Moon games, and now I continue buying Harvest Moon games, hoping that they're going to get back to their roots and make a really good, solid Harvest Moon game again. And I feel like I'm not alone in that at all. So if you also are like Story of Seasons or Harvest Moon fans, you know what I'm talking about here. So One World, that one didn't grab me as much. I did try this one out, but just didn't grab me. We have another one also. Harvest Moon, The Winds of Athos, or Anthos? Anthos. I haven't tried this one yet. It does look a little bit more of the same as the One World, but I need to give this one a shot and see what I think about this one too. Because like I said, one of these days, they're going to nail the formula again. And maybe they can learn something from Stardew Valley and try to incorporate that into these new graphics Harvest Moon games, and we will all fall in love again.
I think it's cool that you're collecting these old favorites of yours on other consoles on Xbox, because I don't think a lot of people do, you know. So I think it's really cool.
I keep trying.
Yeah. And here is Hello Neighbor 2. I did actually play this one on Game Pass. Obviously, if you play this one, and even if you follow a guide, this is a pretty short completion, a short game in general. But I mean, I think this one was more polished. Again, you know, just I know that the Hello Neighbor games are, you know, mixed reviews from a lot of people. They sometimes ask, like, why do they keep making these games, you know? But they found a formula, and I guess at some point it was popular. But you know, this one, give it a try if you like the others. I mean, this is definitely, like I said, better graphics, better controls, and yeah. So definitely more interesting, and I think they tried to have a little bit more of a story in this one as well. So, you know, but yeah, it's become one of our unofficial family series kind of thing. Yeah. Kind of weird one. Speaking of favorites, this is probably my favorite from this generation, Hitman 3, which obviously, you know, is like the whole... It encompasses all of the Hitman games, you know, the accumulation of Hitman 1, 2, and 3, like kind of the rebooted series that was episodic to begin with, and fantastic game. This just wraps it up, wraps up the trilogy really well from Xbox One to Series X and everything. And they have since changed the name to Hitman World of Assassination, which I'm not quite sure I like that as much, but at least we have all the physicals, and Hitman 3 is fantastic. Should not be missed. One of the best games, for sure. And then play all the others too, of course, not just Hitman 3. And here's Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, I think this is one that our son really got into, and kind of an interesting, it's like Ubisoft's take almost on a Breath of the Wild
totally is.
game. So, I mean, it's good, and it, plays well, controls well, has cool moves and everything. So it's fun. It's just that you'll definitely, if you've ever played a Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda game, you're going to go, wait a second, this seems familiar. But if you haven't, heck, give it a try. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So,
I actually tried this one for a couple hours, and it didn't grab me as much as I wanted to. Like, I'll still give it another try, but I wasn't like, oh my god, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. It's like a Breath of the Wild, Assassin's Creed mashup. So,
Yeah.
yep. And here is In Sound Mind Deluxe Edition. This one I had played a little bit of, and it's like a first-person horror adventure game. But it seemed pretty good, actually. So I definitely want to dive into this one a little bit more. So I decided to get the physical for it as well. So it was on a deep sale at some point last year or something. So I just grabbed it. And again, one of those few indie games, I would say. And here is It Takes Two.
It Takes Two. We played this
It definitely
together.
takes two.
Yeah, and we did play this one in co-op, as I believe
Well, you have to. Yeah, you have to.
And we got all the achievements, and we have some feelings towards this game, but maybe we'll cover that later.
No, we definitely will. I mean, we can share that. We're working on some co-op videos and stuff, and this will definitely be covered. And so I don't know if we want to give a full review of it here, but we have played it. It is your typical kind of couples game as they want it to be, local co-op and stuff. You can play it online though, but it's like it's still split screen for both people, which is, I mean, it was a little bit of an adjustment to do it that way. I had played A Way Out before, which you haven't played that one, I think. So it's the same thing, and I don't think we felt like this was as an amazing of a game as everyone makes it out to be. So, but that's all we're gonna leave it at, I think.
Yeah, I think
because we want to do a more in-depth review of this one.
Yes. Just Die Already. This is a weird game that, again, our son inspired us to buy. And he was like really excited about this game. Something about old people, mayhem, sandbox.
I mean, it's Goat Simulator with old people, basically. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, I don't know, old people dying left and right and it's a weird game.
Sorry for laughing.
Since it is such a weird game, I love having this as a physical game in our collection because, Just Die Already is a really bizarre game.
Yeah, it is weird. And I remember watching him play this. He refused to do any of the objectives because I was asking him, like, are you not going to like progress? Like, it's like super easy objectives, just like Goat Simulator. But he just refused. He's like, no.
It's so funny too. It's like popping up on the screen telling you, like, you need to go do this. He's like off in the other direction, doing something completely different.
No, he just did not want to do it. Yeah.
No. Tutorial, screw the tutorial. No one needs
screw
it.
the tutorial. He didn't get through the tutorial. Yeah.
Katamari Damacy, reroll. Love Katamari series. If you've watched any of our other videos, you may have caught on to that. So I have just one last achievement in this game, and that is collecting all the items in the game. And I don't know, I'm sure there's a guide, but there's a lot of items. So trying to figure out which items on which level that I'm missing is going to be a huge pain. So I've just been like playing levels, hoping that maybe I'll come across it. But I may have to get a little bit, down to brass tacks here and figure out what items am I missing, what levels are they on, so I can get that final achievement. But these games are great. Seriously, Katamari Damacy is a fantastic series. So love it.
Is this like a remake of like the PS2 version?
Yeah, this is the PS2 game, remade. I mean, it's still pretty much the same game, just like better graphics. The controls are the same. Like almost everything is the same about it. So same music, love the music, but yeah, just better graphics.
Yeah, awesome.
And achievements.
Yeah. Okay, that was the end of shelf number 1. So let's move on to shelf number 2.
Okay, we have first up not quite alphabetical, but we're putting it with Katamari. It is We Love Katamari Reroll Royal Reverie. I think that's my word there.
I think so.
And so We Love Katamari is another game that was on the PS2. This is the second Katamari Damacy game. So maybe they're going to keep going through the Katamari games and doing re-rolls and doing the remakes of them. So I love that idea. I love this game on the PS2. I haven't played this one yet on the Xbox Series X, only because, like I said, I'm still trying to get that final achievement in the first one.
I remember when we went to GameStop to try to pick this one up, and they literally had one copy in stock, and they sold out. So I was like, wow, okay, that's the kind of stuff we're dealing with now.
Yeah, it was really weird. And they said that. They're like, yeah, all our stores only got one. And so that meant that it was either selling right away, or it was the what do you call it, the
Pre-order?
No, the shelf copy or the store floor.
Oh, the store copy? Yeah, floor
the
copy.
floor copy, yeah.
That's, I suppose that's what it's called, yeah.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Night Witch. This is one that I tried recently, and I actually really liked this one. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a unique take on the cave shooters, or what else did they call the cave shooters?
No, I don't know. Well, I guess it is a mix of, platformer, Metroidvania, and like a shoot 'em up. Yeah. So, this was a very interesting game.
Yeah, it was really cool. I like the art style and think the characters were cool in it and everything. So, another one of those kind of indie games that when we saw that it had an actual physical copy of it available on the Xbox Series X, wanted to get it. I wonder what's in the deluxe edition, though. I just noticed that. So I'll have
that
to
might
open
be
it
the
up.
only one though. Yeah. So, but I made sure to get you this one. I think Best Buy before they sold out or whatever clearance sale. So I was like, I got to get you this one.
I'm glad you did, because I think that one's really cool.
Liza P. This one I tried when it was on Game Pass. I really liked this game actually, and I don't really play the Souls-like a whole lot. This one I did like quite a bit, but I didn't have a chance to play it before it left Game Pass. So I made sure to get a physical of this one. However, you can see that this is the PAL version because the NTSC version is very expensive. And so I had to go overseas to get this one a little bit cheaper. Not like it was crazy cheap, but I just knew that when it left Game Pass, I wanted to get a physical. So, but from what I played, this is a really good game.
Cool. I watched you play that one a little bit. I love the art style of that one.
Life is Strange True Colors. I do enjoy the Life is Strange series. This one I did play, and I thought this one was better than Life is Strange 2 at least. Maybe not as good as the first one, but this one, I liked it. I don't think you've played it yet,
No,
but
I
you
haven't
played the
played this
first
one.
few. But I recommend playing this one. I thought this was continuing more along the not the same storyline, of course, as 1 and 2, but it was better than this Life is Strange 2, I would say.
Cool. Yeah, no, I need to give this one a try, but it's really hard not to jump to this one.
Yeah, Life is Strange, a double exposure. And this is kind of like more or less a direct sequel, I think. I don't... Or is it a prequel? I don't even know yet, but we picked this one up
at... It's a sequel, yeah.
Yeah, we picked this one up at GameStop, I think. We may have even pre-ordered it, or just for the Steelbook.
We didn't pre-order it, but I was tracking down which GameStops had the Steelbooks still in stock. Steelbook still in stock. Wow. And so I was actually calling the GameStops and seeing who had one left over from the pre-order so that we could go there and pick it up. And they were so funny about it. They're like, well, you have to buy the game. I'm like, I know that. We will buy the game. Just do you have the Steelbook?
But I think we had, no, that's what it was. Yeah, we bought the game, had it shipped to us, but they forgot to do the Steelbook.
That's what it was. That's
so
why
we had to go to a GameStop. Yeah, but that's when they were a little bit weird. But I mean, to be fair, if you ask, they tend to kind of give you the Steelbook. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. But looking forward to playing this one.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. Ah, yes, Little Nightmares 2. Fantastic game. One of my all-time favorite indie games for sure. This one has a great story, great atmosphere, and great twist as well. I'm not going to say much else if you haven't played this game, but this one is much better than the first one. way better controls. I was gonna say there's some awkward controls in here, but otherwise, like the platforming and everything, it's really must play. Especially if you're into the 2.5D platformers and
The story on this one gave me goosebumps, which is pretty interesting for a video game. But this one was awesome to watch you play, and it's only hard for me to play because I watched you go through like the whole thing and I enjoyed it thoroughly. But I do also want to play this one.
Yeah, but fun. Good news, Little Nightmares 3 is coming out soon,
That's
and
right.
it has co-op.
Yep, I'm super excited about that.
This is Marsupilami Hoob Adventure. I had played this one, and this is the best way to summarize this is the closest thing to a Rayman game. If you have that itch that needs to be scratched, I highly recommend trying this game out. So it plays the same in the same vein as a Rayman game. It's a 2D platformer. Relatively fast-paced, I would say. It's not as fast as Rayman. It's also made by a French developer, so yeah. And I think it might be a cartoon that it's based on, a famous cartoon, or at least a popular cartoon over there. Yeah. But yeah, definitely. And we had to get this tropical edition, which comes with a couple of things, like a sticker and some stuff, right?
A door hanger, just what you need.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Some stickers.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
but this is a European version of it.
I don't think we got this one over here. So yeah, so we had to get this one. I think we got this from Play Asia.
I want to say Play Asia, yeah.
But totally worth it. Absolutely recommend this one if you're looking for that platformer, because it's far better than a lot of 2D platformers I've played lately. So.
You were really into this one, I remember, and it was fun to watch you play it. It is a lot like Rayman.
And this is Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy. Same thing, kind of Marvel Avengers. I haven't gotten around to playing this one, but I have heard a lot of good reviews. I've seen a lot of good reviews about this game, so it's supposed to be a pretty good, like, third-person action-adventure shooter game and stuff. So, yep, looking forward to playing this one. And here's the Medium. This was, if I remember correctly, an Xbox exclusive. It may come out on PC as well. I don't know if in later times it came out on PlayStation. Chances are it probably did, but I think it definitely was like a day one Game Pass game, which I played this one. And this was right after I had played the Blair Witch by Bloober Team. And you were watching me play both of them, which I was surprised. But you, I think, also liked both of these games.
Yeah, I really liked this one. And it was cool because while you were playing this one, I kept saying, oh my God, this reminds me of Silent Hill. And it was before we knew that they actually were like
we're
working.
doing the remake,
Yeah, on the remake.
This is probably their CV, right? Like they saw this game and they're like, hey, do you want to do the remake? So it was following that whole parallel universe kind of thing, where you could switch dimensions in a sense. And I thought this one was actually pretty good. I don't know if it got like really good reviews when it came out, but I enjoyed this one. So I thought it was good.
This was a really cool game.
Yep. It's kind of one of those, you played it one time and I haven't played it since, but I would love to replay this one actually.
Yeah, that was a good game.
And Metal Gear 1. Master Collection. You bought me this one, I think. You got me, I would say, like, was it a Christmas gift or something last year?
I think so. And to be honest, I got this on such a great deal, and it was like right after it came out. I didn't know if it was a mistake or something on Amazon's behalf, but I found this for like dirt cheap, so I was just okay, I'm gonna just get this, you know. And I'm a big fan of the Metal Gear Solid games, especially the early ones, like exactly these ones, to be honest.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I think I was kind of trying to convince you as well to be like, hey, maybe you want to play the early Metal Gear games.
I should. I mean, absolutely. It's been kind of something I've been putting off. It's a lot of the Metal Gear, especially the early ones, which is, a lot of people praise the originals, so I definitely would like to play that.
All right. Okay, we have Minecraft Dungeons Hero Edition. You got me this one, and I appreciate it. It's just that this is one of those games, I should have known, Minecraft, but they just keep on adding new achievements, more DLC, with more new achievements. And suddenly this game got so overwhelming for me to go back to. And I thought that our son would play it with me as well. So I was like, oh, this will be fun. You know, we can play it online. But he did not get into this Minecraft game as much as the original Minecraft. So that's all fine and well. But now I really need a co-op buddy, and that's me looking at you going wink, wink, to jump in and help me with the Minecraft dungeons.
Oh boy. I mean, I know this is very different from regular Minecraft. I don't know. I don't really go further than Minecraft story mode. So I mean, it's just kind of, I mean, this is different. So I might give this one a try with you, but
Yeah.
I'm not really into Minecraft that much. So.
This will be hundreds of hours.
This
to
is
complete.
probably, so this is more of a top-down, like,
Dungeon crawler.
Dungeon crawler, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it has a lot of really cool stuff about it. I appreciate it for what it is. It's just that when you're a completionist, it's daunting,
Yep.
you know. Moving out to, I've been trying to talk you into this one, especially since we just moved. I felt like, first off, we should have played this before we moved. This would have been our practice, okay?
Yeah.
We would be practicing moving out before we move out. And now we've moved in. And I mean, is it too late?
We can relive our moving out experience, in this one, which hopefully it went better than some of these levels do. But no, I mean, I think, to be fair, I think these games are pretty fun, you know, just like Overcooked, and you know, we played Moving Out 1 twice. You know, we got all the achievements in the Xbox One version and the Windows version.
Yeah.
So I think I'm probably ready to jump into these soon.
I hope so, because I have a lot of fun playing these games. And this one, Moving Out, has such a great sense of humor, as you can even see right here. Like, includes the Fartastic 4 DLC. So they just have the weirdest, most childish, like, sense of humor in this game, but I love it. So it's great.
It's got that 80s or 90s music and stuff, right?
It does, yeah. Next up, we have New Tales from the Borderlands, Deluxe Edition.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think this is Gearbox that made this one. This is not Telltale. So, you know, and I know that Gearbox kind of collaborated with Telltale, but this was a release after, I think, Telltale was liquidated, basically. So they went under, and this is just like a sequel. I don't know if this one is good as Tales from the Borderlands, which I did enjoy quite a bit. So I just wanted to get the physical for this one, which is unusual. I don't really get the Telltale ones on Xbox One and Series X, so this is kind of an anomaly here that that I got this one. But, you know, still looking forward to playing it to see if it's any good or not.
Next up, we have Nier Replicant. Now, we both played this one, right?
No, that was Nier Automata.
Oh my gosh, you're right. So this is the newer one.
This is the
But it's the remake
PS,
of the older one, right?
PS3 version, yeah.
Okay.
Which is, I think I had this discussion with someone in the comment section of a different video. But yeah, this is kind of the PS3 version of Nier, and then you had Nier on 360, which was like a different character, I think, more. I don't know what it was trying to do, more catered to the Western audience, and this was more
Japanese
to the
audience?
Japanese, yeah. So but I don't know how different it is from the 360, the PS3 version of it. So it might be just a remastered version of it.
Huh. Well, I'll have to check it out. I mean, the first Nier game that was on the Xbox One, I enjoyed parts of it, and there was a lot of things I didn't enjoy about it, but I know that it's like a fan favorite, so I don't want to talk any kind of smack about it, but it just didn't really it didn't hit me the same way, basically. But I'm still willing to I like the world, though. I like the characters. I like the art style, so I'd be willing to give...
Music.
And the
music.
music. Oh, God, no, not the music.
So you
Sometimes
kept
the music-
commenting on the music being a little bit cheesy.
Yeah, the music in the desert. Don't get me started on that. But I would be willing to give this one another shot.
I mean, we got it because the Nier Automata was a PS4 game, and then it came to Xbox through Game Pass or something, and we didn't actually get a physical there, I think. So we wanted to get this one at least on Xbox One / Series X, although it says Xbox One at the top, but you know,
Yeah,
you know how it goes.
Yeah, so I'll give this one a shot.
This is another Bloober teams, a lot of Bloober on this one. So this is Observer System Redux. Essentially just like a Series X upgrade from the Xbox One version. I have played the Xbox One version, and I thought it was a pretty good game. You know, more of a, I don't know if it's more of a walking simulator, sort of like a horror game, but it's, yeah. So this is just the remaster in a sense, and wanted to get the physical because I don't think the first one got a physical on Xbox One. I could be wrong, but I don't remember seeing it, so I wanted to get this one for Series X.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know much about that one. Oddworld Soulstorm Enhanced Edition. This is one of the games I really wanted to get and add to our collection. I kept waiting for it to go on sale because I really wanted the Steelbook edition of this one. And it was funny because I think it was like selling out in some places, and then but they like seemed to restock it. So I think we finally got it for a good deal.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure if there is a standard edition for this. I think this might be it.
Yeah.
Like this Steelbook one. So I mean, I could be wrong there. I haven't researched too much, but this is the one that seems to come up all the time, this day one Steelbook edition.
Yeah, no, exactly. But this one does have the game inside it.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I mean, it's not like some of the newer stuff, but
Yeah.
I mean, this is cool. I mean, what was the Oddworld that I played recently? The not Abe's Odyssey, or there was one Oddworld game that I played on Xbox One.
I don't know. I only played the ones on PS1, basically. And then the one on the OG Xbox.
Oh, there's two there. Yeah, the Stranger's Wrath, and
Yes.
yeah.
Which is a great game. And so I haven't played this one yet, but I would be looking forward to play this one because I really enjoyed the older Oddworld games.
Yeah, they are definitely odd platformers, that's
I think
for sure.
you may have played, I thought that it was the one that came to Game Pass, right?
No, I bought that one digitally or something, but yeah, it's like, I can't remember the subtitle of it, but it's like Abe's Odyssey or something like that.
Okay, so
yeah.
that's the remaster of the PS1 version.
Yeah, most likely, yeah.
Oh, you did, yeah. You played the PS1
Yep.
games. Okay.
Which that's my first
Yeah.
and only Oddworld, so I'm looking forward to playing this one.
Yeah. Next up, we have Outriders.
And this one, I tried this one out a little bit. I mean, I liked what I played. This is definitely like a co-op game, like a 3-player co-op shooter. And I mean, it might be interesting to try this one because we're fans of Remnant. So I mean, it's not exactly like Remnant, but it got that. I got that vibe from it that since we like those third-person shooters, you know, this might be okay. But this is people
Is it
can fly.
Online only kind of thing? Or?
I think it might be.
Well, I guess it does say requires internet.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure it is like online required. You know, I played offline by myself, just you know, so you can do up to 3 people, and then you could do drop in, drop out co-op kind of thing. So, but you know,
cool.
it seemed okay. I mean, I don't know, maybe it was a little bit overhyped and not your typical Square Enix kind of game. But like I said, it is people can fly, so it's you know, they tend to make these shooters. Yeah. So it's something that we can try someday, though.
Yeah, no, I'd be down to try it. Oh, another game that I'm trying to talk you into for the last couple of years now.
I see a trend here, yeah.
Overcooked, all you can eat. This would be us redoing all the lovely levels of 1 and 2, right?
Plus all DLC, yeah.
Plus all DLC.
Yep.
We've done it twice. Can we do it a third time?
We have done the first one, once, and then the second one twice. Which, yes, absolutely, we could do this one. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, and you know, maybe if someday we stream or something like that, you know, maybe this would be a good one to do. This one and Moving Out too.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I agree.
It's that typical couples game.
It's true, but they're great, and they're difficult.
Yep.
All right, we have Persona 3 Portable. This is a great game. I played this one while it was on Game Pass, and I still have to do one more playthrough of it, so I'm glad that we have the physical of it. However, you got this for me before Limited Run put out they put out a limited run version that we have as well. So I was pretty happy to get this. I think it's like the Grimoire edition. So it's like a book inside. I haven't opened it yet. I really want to open it though, because this one has a steelbook also in here. So this should be an exciting one too.
And is this a PSP game then?
So it was a PS2 game, and then they brought it to the PSP. When they brought it to the PSP, they introduced a female heroine that you could play as well. So this is like the PSP version remastered on the newer consoles.
Yeah, you're definitely the Persona expert in this household. So yeah, I definitely lean on you to tell me what versions, what did it come out on originally and stuff.
Exactly. And then we have this one, which is the Persona 3 Reload. And this is like the complete remake of Persona 3. This is more just off of the Persona 2, the PS2 Fez edition, and then they added basically the Fez like DLC. I don't know, a couple months ago, so that was really cool. And if you were a Game Pass member, you actually got the DLC as part of your Game Pass membership, and I don't know, that made me super happy to get that. So I haven't started the DLC, but I did complete just the base game here and loved it. But I love Persona 3, so obviously I was going to love the remaster. I think they did a fantastic job just updating this one, yet keeping everything that you would love about the PS2 version. We have more Persona. Here we go. We have Persona 5 Royal. This is another RPG that I'm pretty happy to say I got all the achievements in this one. So I don't have any other playthroughs to do on this one. I just have them all, but definitely wanted to have it in our collection. And we got the Steelbook edition and everything. So, because I love Steelbooks. So this is this is a great Persona game as well. I'm a little bit partial to Persona 3 and 4, and then also, of course, Persona 2. But I still enjoy the gameplay of this one, and I love the Morgana cat. And I think this is our last Persona game on the shelf. It's Persona 5 Tactica. This one I tried while it was on Game Pass. I could not get into it, but friends are telling me that this is a really great game and I just need to stick with it, probably past the tutorial, and I'm gonna say that's probably correct. I just need to get past the tutorial, and I bet you I'll get right into this game as well, because it's Persona, it's a strategy game, and I love both those things, so I need to give this one another shot.
And this is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I just started this one a couple of days ago, actually. I've been kind of putting it off a little bit, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. It's I get this kind of old Prince of Persia vibe, like that 2D platformer, plus, it's a Metroidvania in the vein of, something like Ori. So I'm not sure you would like it as much as Ori, but I'm enjoying just uncovering new areas, and it gives you actually a couple of options to have like a guided mode or completely blind playthrough, where it doesn't give you any pointers, doesn't give you any waypoints and stuff like that, no hints. So yeah, they kind of catered it to kind of your play style. But so far I played it for, I think, 5-6 hours, and I've gotten maybe 1 achievement. So yeah, it's definitely not one of those achievement plentiful games, but I like it so far. So I'm glad I started it finally. And here is Psychonauts 2, a game that I have finished from start to finish, and it has this really cool lenticular
Mother Lobe edition.
Exactly, that's what it is. But thankfully I did play this one on Game Pass, and it was very much an inspiration to play this one after watching that Double Fine documentary. So then I just I think I played it alongside us watching that documentary. I played it right after, but I really enjoyed this game. I thought it was really fun, really good controls, good platforming. Yeah, so I definitely recommend playing this one. I actually haven't played the first Psychonauts. I tried playing it back in the day on PC, but my PC wasn't good enough to run it, and I didn't have an Xbox at the time. So yeah, it's one of those games where I thoroughly enjoyed this one.
Yeah, we need to add the first one to our OG Xbox collection.
Exactly, yeah. We don't even have it.
Here we have Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. I really enjoy these games, so I like puzzle games like this too. So I like Tetris. I wasn't very familiar with Puyo Puyo before this because I didn't play a lot on the Dreamcast, but it was really cool to see this mashup, and I think they did a really great job with this mashup. And it's just fun. This is a really fun puzzle game, Tetris type game. And it just maybe a more cuter Tetris game with cuter characters and art style. So yeah, I like this one. This one was fun.
And this is the Quarry, which I have played. There's also like an Xbox One version of this. Again, just one of those choose your own adventure horror games. It's not really, I guess it is a horror game, of course, but I mean, very cinematic, of course. It's the supermassive game, so it's Until Dawn style, and I really like this one. I mean, you saw me play this a couple of times, so if you go for all the achievements in these games, it's a lot of playthroughs, a lot of repetition. You see the same stuff. So if you do go for achievements and trophies in these games, I try to space it out. I try to like cram it in and get it done in a couple of days. You get so tired of watching the same unskippable cutscenes.
I know.
But it's a great game. A lot of good actors in this one, and yeah, really, I would recommend playing this one if you're into that kind of choose your own adventure horror game, same as Until Dawn and Dark Pictures anthology.
It's funny because I think that you would call me. So I watched you do the first playthrough, and then after that, you would basically call me in whenever you were hitting like a new kind of story moment in a sense.
Yeah, to show you the different endings and the different.
You'd be like, hold on, come in. It's gonna show a different ending.
I mean, I like that kind of stuff, but
cool.
There's a lot of stuff that you see over and over again because it doesn't change that much. So.
Yeah.
And here we have Redfall, the most unfinished game that has come to Series X in recent years. I think I played a little bit of this, and from what I played, and it was kind of close, or I should say shortly after it was released, and I didn't like this one as much, so I never went back to it. But I know since they've improved the frame rate, they've improved some issues that they initially had with the game. So, it is a co-op game, so maybe we'll give this one a try someday. But
the trailers made it look awesome.
Yeah, we were excited, like, look at this co-op game and stuff. But this one totally fell on its face.
Yeah, because it was Arcane Studios, so we
Arcane's
were like,
one of my favorites.
God, this will be great.
But then they shut down the studio afterwards. So yeah, there you go. So it's like, but it was like one of those same as Back 4 Blood, like the online requirements and stuff. I don't know if they've patched that out, but we can try it someday and see how it is.
True.
I don't know who wants to talk about this. Both
Remnant
of us.
2.
Remnant 2 is amazing. We love Remnant, which is very surprising that we ended up loving Remnant. I think it probably is our favorite co-op series,
I was going to say, I think this is our favorite co-op
Absolutely,
game.
And then we'll probably cover that in when we start doing some co-op videos and everything, because Remnant 1 was fantastic. Remnant 2 is probably equally as good, maybe better.
I agree.
But disclaimer, we haven't even beaten the final boss yet. We're stuck on the final boss because
I know we gotta level up.
The entire game, I felt like it was easier than the first game. But then the final boss, he's a total pain.
Oh my gosh, they ramped it up.
Yeah, so it's like you get through to all the areas that you're in. Then obviously this is randomized per playthrough and whatever. But I think at this point we're in your game now. So we were in my game playing through to the final boss, but now we're like trying to level up a little bit more, find better weapons and gear, and then we're gonna go to my save again and try to
try again.
So but great game though. I mean, third person shooter, kind of like a looter shooter, and you also have that whole, not roguelite, but it's definitely randomized to a point where you can play up to 3 people. We found that playing with 2 is absolutely fine. We try to involve our son in some of that stuff, but he wasn't that big of a fan of this game. But
not just that, but do you remember too, if you add a third person, I thought the difficulty level
does
really
scale,
ramped up.
And then even you know, I've tried playing this solo for a couple of achievements on the first game, but I didn't find it as much fun. I think it's way better to play this one in co-op. But yeah, absolutely like outstanding co-op shooter in my opinion.
This one's my favorite. Yeah.
And this is Remothered Broken Porcelain. I think this was a pretty big failure when it was first released, but I really like the first one, the Remothered Tormented Father. So yeah, it's a handful and a mouthful to say these names, but title of these games. But I don't know. It's just one of those games where I was very excited to play it due to the first one, and just haven't played it yet. You know, it's just kind of, when I see a game that is literally broken or has broken gameplay mechanics and stuff that don't work very well, then I'm less inclined to jump on it right away, at least until they fix stuff. But, you know, I'll play it someday. But it is like a survival horror stealth game, you know, so, yep. Next we have Resident Evil Village. I've not gotten as far as this in the Resident Evil series. I think I'm probably in Resident Evil 7 still, so I mean, I'll get to this one eventually, but I think you pre-ordered this one for me and got the steelbook and everything, so that was pretty cool.
Yep, another one of those steelbook pre-orders.
And of course we have to have Resident Evil 4. I do think we have all of them now, including PlayStation and GameCube and all that stuff. So, I mean, we might be missing maybe one or two. But yeah, this one, people are very excited about this game. So, definitely one I will have to get to. Thankfully, I finally finished the original maybe a couple of years ago. So, I finally got through that. I thought it was a great game. So, I am looking forward to playing the remake.
It was fun to watch you play the older one again because I played it ages ago back on the GameCube, actually. So, yeah. But I'm really looking forward to seeing you play this one.
Yeah,
how they did the remaster.
I think just one thing that stood out for me for Resident Evil 4, other than people saying that this is the best Resident Evil and one of the best, third-person shooters of all time, and survival horror games, but I think this had a really good pacing to it. You know, it's just really good change of scenery and environments. That's what I was mostly impressed by, because it's hard. I think it is a pretty long game, but for them to keep that momentum so well, I was very impressed by that, more so than anything, because you could say the controls might be, a little bit stiff and all that stuff, but like just the fact that you don't get tired of any scenario that you go through was kind of unusual. Yeah, so yeah, really good game. This is Return to Monkey Island. I will say Monkey Island is a childhood favorite for sure, and this one didn't disappoint. I made sure though, when it was on Game Pass, I played it on PC with the mouse and keyboard, so as you should with these types of games. But obviously we have the Series X version here, which was a limited run release that was kind of difficult to find.
Yeah, this one was harder to find.
Yeah, but I'm so happy we have it, and great game. Highly recommend it if you like the point-and-click adventure games, especially if you're a fan of Monkey Island. This one is great. And here is RoboCop Rogue City. Another game that a lot of people talk about. It's the same developer behind Terminator Resistance. So I did play Terminator. I haven't played RoboCop yet. This is supposedly a good first-person shooter.
Here we go with Sandland. This is one that I wanted to add to the collection. It's the same artist that works on the Dragon Quest game, as you can probably tell, but this one's not put out by Square Enix, it's Bandai Namco, so it's a different type of game, and kind of reminds me of like the Dragon Quest Monsters games that were on the DS, and so I'm looking forward to trying this one out. I haven't played it yet. But I will say, when we were at PAX, what was it, 2024 PAX?
I think it was last year, yeah.
Yeah, they had this tank, like life-size. It was huge, and it was so cool. Like, that was like one of the highlights at that PAX, was seeing this giant Sandland tank, and it was super cool, and they had you could go inside the tank in order to play the demo of the game. So that stands out to me when it comes to Sandland.
This is the Saints Row reboot, the one that everyone loves to hate, I guess. I have not played this one yet for almost obvious reasons. I don't think it got good reviews, so I guess I wasn't too eager on playing it. But I did get this Legacy Edition right here, which comes with like a download code for Saints Row the Third Remastered. And otherwise, I think we have like a Steelbook Edition that was pretty cheap. You know, they almost gave it away in the end, but you know, in the end, this was the last game from Volition before they pulled the plug on them, unfortunately. But it just, Saints Row wasn't going in the right direction. I've played all of them except for this one, and yeah, you could just kind of feel that it wasn't headed in the direction that fans wanted, and ultimately, yeah, this is where it ended. So, but I'll get around to it someday.
We have Sea of Stars, and this is a game, obviously, I think I've talked about this game a couple times. Absolutely loved this RPG. Fantastic RPG. Quite a surprise, I think, to many people, because we just didn't even know anything about this developer, and they came out with this like amazing kind of old school type style of RPG. Also, recently, this game had DLC come out for it, and that DLC is free, and I was pretty surprised to see that. So I expected to pay, you know, I don't know, somewhere $14.99, something like that, for them to add DLC, but nope, totally free. I just downloaded it, and I can't wait to play more. Like, I'm excited that they added more to a game that I love so much.
And not to mention, they had about 6 different physical releases for this game, right?
Oh
like
God.
different artwork and different stuff
Yes.
inside the case. And
That's true. Yeah, we do have 2 versions of this game.
yeah, I don't know. It's just, I'm trying to, I think we bought this one. I don't know if this is the IM 8-bit or if this limited run. Or
Well, I think this is the regular store. It's still, they're all IM 8-bit. It's just that this is like the store version, kind of like the Cyberpunk game. And then there's like a special IM, if you order directly from IM 8-bit, you get a different version of it. Here we have Shin Megami Tensei. This is 5 in Vengeance, and this is a Steelbook version of it. And I have not played this one yet. I really need to get on with this new Shin Megami Tensei game. As you know, I love Persona. I also love the Shin Megami Tensei games as well. So they're not the same, but they obviously share a lot of things in common, including the artwork. So this one, I need to pick this one up. I need to start playing.
Here we have Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. Another series that I'm a little bit behind on these days. I played the first few Sniper Ghost Warrior on Xbox 360, and you know, they're okay sniper games. They're not the best, but I have actually heard that some of the newer ones here, Contracts 1 and 2, are supposed to be at least a little bit better, but overall they're probably like pretty average sniper games. But as you probably know, there's not a lot of sniper games, so yeah, I just had to kind of snag this one. But I think it was pretty cheap, but I still have to play like Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 and then Contracts 1, and then I'll get to this one. But yeah, they're decent enough sniper games.
That's cool. Besides our beloved Sniper Elite.
Exactly.
Funny story about Soul Hackers 2 here is that you actually tried this one out.
On Game Pass, yeah. And, you know, it's one of those weird instances where I actually thought this was okay for being the turn-based stuff that it is, and I'm not a huge fan of the turn-based combat. But I enjoyed for the, I don't know, an hour or so I played this game. So, but then I read reviews and they're like, this is not good at all. And I'm like, of course, it's like me playing Dragon Age, and I like the one that people like the least, right? So I don't know. I maybe I'll try it again, but I don't know if this is the type of game that you would play. So.
No, it is. And I mean, this one kind of reminded me of a game that they made, that Atlas made on the PS2, Digital Devil Saga. And it kind of reminded me a little bit of that style of Atlas style. I don't know. These are also like the same kind of artists as, you know, your Shin Megami Tensei, your Persona game. So they all share similarities, but they're just different types of RPGs and different types of storylines. And this one was a little bit more action-based, I'd say. So makes sense. Also, when we were in Japan, we were able to pick up the limited edition version of this, and we actually got like the little figure for it as well, the little Jack Frost guy that he looks like her, but he's Jack Frost. So it's super cool. So I don't know, love having our little collector's edition, and I look forward to playing this one. I want to play this one too.
So South Park Snow Day, and I think you may have bought this for me because I mean I do like South Park, and so do you.
Yep.
But I think this is more kind of like a action adventure. Like I assume you're just going around throwing snowballs at people, but we haven't obviously played this one yet. It's still relatively new as of last year, I think. So, but it's not like the turn-based South Park Stick of Truth and everything. So.
Oh, really? I thought this was still like another RPG
No,
style
I don't
one.
think so. I think it's more like a 3D kind of you run around and do stuff. Yeah. So I don't know if it's more of a brawler, beat 'em up kind of thing. So yeah, it's not like turn-based combat to my knowledge, at least. So.
Dang it! I was hoping for another one.
Hey, you still have Fractured Butthole to play, so
Okay, true.
we'll do that. And here we have Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. This was Series X and PC exclusive, so as far as I know, this didn't come out on PS5. Haven't gotten into this one yet. I would like to. I have a couple of games, especially new releases, that I'm working my way through. I got to play some Indiana Jones and stuff like that. But no, I mean, it's right up my alley. It's a little bit more survival, I think, than I would like. But you know, I like the Metro games, but this I have seen and heard is far more unforgiving than Metro is. So, but it's that same style, and I think I played like maybe 20 minutes of it, and it was a little bit harder to get into. So you definitely have to invest more time in this game to get it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing this one.
And next we have Star Ocean: The Divine Force. Again, this is one of those series where I fell in love with this series back on the PS1, really. And I've liked some of the other Star Ocean games, but it hasn't quite hit that mark like the PS1 version did, the second story. So I keep buying the Star Oceans, hoping that it's going to just like really grab me again. I haven't played this one yet, but I'm thrilled that they continue making the Star Ocean games. So I need to give this one a shot. Really like great artwork again on this one, and it looks like a lot of interesting characters. So looking forward to trying Star Ocean: The Divine Force out.
And here's Star Wars Jedi Survivor, another series that I've tried the first game and I liked what I played. You know, this is a theme here. Like I try a lot of games on Game Pass, and I kind of put it on my to play list, but I don't jump into them right away. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this one. Obviously, I'll have to get through the first one first. But yeah, no, I mean, these are good kind of hack and slash platformer games, and yeah, I mean, kind of right up my alley. So, and you know, I do like Star Wars. Not all Star Wars games, but I do like Star Wars from time to time.
Next we have Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town. This is another one I'm pretty proud to say I have all the achievements in. There was this last achievement where I had to just keep on resetting and shaving a sheep over and over again because it was just the last one I needed, and it was kind of a silly grind thing to do, but I think I had to get like, I don't know, the rainbow wool or something like that. But you know, it's just one of those things when it's your last achievement, you go, all right, fine, you know, like, let's just do it. So it was like a matter of just shaving the sheep, resetting if I didn't get it, shaving the sheep, resetting.
Yeah. That's how it goes. The grind is real.
I mean, I love this game. This is probably one of my favorites, actually. Yeah, this would be my favorite farming game other than Stardew Valley that's been on the newer consoles. So if you are a fan of any kind of Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, and there's several Story of Season games, but if you're wondering which one to start with, do Friends of Mineral Town. This is fantastic, super solid. And we do have also This is Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. This is a remake of the PS2 game, Wonderful Life. I think it may have been on GameCube as well. I didn't like this one as much on the PS2, and I'm not liking it as much even now still. So I keep going back to it, and I'm going to keep playing it, and I'm going to get through it, and I'll get the achievements and everything for it, but not loving it as much as Mineral Town. So just wanted to throw that out there in case you were wondering which Story of Seasons to get. And then, what is it? Pioneers of Olive Town or something like that. That one's not on the Xbox, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd get that one. Next, we have Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. This one I haven't played at all, but I was excited again that it came to the Xbox, and I do believe this is like a complete remaster of the first game, or maybe the first two Final Fantasy games. Have to look at it, but we also got the steelbook for this one as well, and it's a really, really cool steelbook. So I'm still stuck on my Final Fantasy VII games right now, and Final Fantasy VII on the PS5. So once I get done with that one, I will need to jump into some of these Final Fantasy games that we have on the Xbox. Stray. This one's funny for me because when I first saw the trailer for this game, I was just like, oh my God, yes, this is going to be my game. It's a cat. You're playing as a cat in a futuristic world. It obviously got great reviews, Indie Game of the Year, Game Awards, and everything. And I loved the first level of it. And then when I got to the second level, they like ramped up that difficulty, and it's really frustrating me. So now the game has just gotten more frustrating than it is fun for me. And I really enjoyed like being in that little town with the people and helping the people out and navigating around. Now I'm like just running away from these crazy robot things that are constantly trying to kill me. And it got hard. Okay, so now it's not just like a cat little platformer help people out game. This is like a hard game now.
Maybe I need to start this one too. Maybe we'll play it side by side and see if we can help each other. Because you know, now that I've played Hello Kitty Big City, then
Hello Kitty, Little Kitty Big City.
Oh, not Hello Kitty, yeah, Little Kitty, not Hello Kitty. But I've gotten enough practice now to play these types of games because I'm like, yep, you just cause havoc and.
Yes, I thought this was going to be more realistic looking Little Kitty Big City in some cyber funk world. Yeah. And now I'm like, whoa, this game got hard, guys.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it out though. At least, you know, I haven't played much of this one, so.
Yeah, I would love for you to try it out.
But it's a cool indie game to have on.
Totally. I love supporting it, and I wanna play more. This one came out a little bit more recently. It's a Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster. I loved Suikoden 2 on the PS1. This is like one of my favorite RPGs, most beloved RPGs. And so when I heard this was getting a remaster coming to the Xbox, I was just thrilled. So I haven't started it yet on the Xbox, but I absolutely will, because this is one of those games I want to relive. And also I want to get the achievements for it because it's just, I don't know, makes it exciting. I never played the first one, so that should be fun too. I get to see the origins of this game, but Suikoden, or Suikoden, I used to call it as well before we had more Japanese practice. Great games. They're all great games. Super Crazy Rhythm Castle. So this is a game when our son was going through this whole Parappa the Rapper phase and he was into rhythm games. I tried to get some more rhythm games as well for our consoles and really just started tracking them down. I mean, we had a lot of Taiko Drum Master. We had all the Parappa the Rapper. So I just started trying to find some other ones that might be fun additions. And this is like a Konami rhythm game. So we haven't tried this one yet. We wasn't sure if we were going to keep this copy actually because the case is cracked in a couple places.
Oh, that's not good.
And so, but it's been really hard to find a replacement. It's not a common game to find around. So
Yeah, we'll
so
keep it
now-
until we find a better copy,
So that's
I guess.
why it's like it's still sealed, because I'm like, are we gonna try to replace this one, or are we just gonna open it and say screw it?
I mean,
you
I guess
know?
we could open it and try to find a different
Case.
game to swap it out with
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, but
Might need to do
it's,
something like
we
that.
don't have we don't exactly have a lot of extras here because
No.
we kind of kept it to a bare minimum in the collection. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this one, I don't know. We'll have to try it someday soon.
This is Siberia: The World Before. I've been a fan of the Siberia games. I played them all now on, newer consoles from 360 to Xbox One, and then this one. And I played this one around launch time, while a lot of people weren't maybe as excited about it. But I think this has a great story. It follows kind of in the same tradition as the other Siberia games, and this is kind of like a weird. It's not like a steelbook, but it's more or less. It kind of looks like a diary
book.
in a sense.
Yeah, it's like a book.
Yep. So it's like like a diary of some sort, and the game is in there and the art book and stuff. So this one's pretty cool. And I mean, if you're into those kind of chill adventure games, I highly recommend this one. I think this one is far better than a lot of people have even talked about. Like you never hear this being mentioned, but this is a great game.
Yeah, you like these games. And
Yep.
I got to watch you play that one, and that one was pretty cool.
Yep. And then here we have System Shock, another series, because I'm such a big fan of BioShock. I've been wanting to play some System Shock. I never got around to it back in the day, but this is kind of like a remaster port by Night Dive Studios, which, I think they make a lot of good ports and remasters. I'm looking forward to playing this one. So I had to get the physical because I want to play it, of course.
Yeah, I don't see this one around very often either.
No, it's a pretty new actually. So, and the next one here is Tales of Iron. I don't know what stood out with this one because this is kind of like a 2D RPG. I don't think it's turn-based or anything, because then I probably wouldn't buy it. But that's just my honest opinion. But I think it is voiced by the guy who does the Witcher voice, I think, unless I'm wrong, and that's like Darkest Dungeon. But it kind of has that same graphics, right, as
Yeah.
Darkest Dungeon. So I played this one a little bit, and I thought this one was great. So I'm looking forward to playing more of this one. And just a physical that you don't see very often. So
Isn't there a sequel coming to this one too?
it might be, yeah. So, but yeah, it's just kind of more along my style, yeah, and just like a 2D RPG. I don't know if it's more of a hack and slash kind of dungeon crawler thing, but it seemed very good when I played it.
Cool. I heard good things about that one too.
And then here we have Trepang 2. I think that's how you say it. I think it's translated into like sea urchin or like sea cucumber or something like that. So it's a spiritual successor to Fear. So it is like an action horror first-person shooter. It's supposed to be like really high octane, fast-paced. And I'm looking forward to playing this one. I had to get the physical for this one from Europe because it's completely sold out over here. And it's one I had on my wish list for a long time, but then I think I bought the digital like cheap, and then I realized, crap, I kind of want to have the physical for this one.
Yeah.
And then it just completely sold out, and it wasn't expensive when it first came out, but then so I had to get it from the UK somewhere for, I don't know, $30-$40 or maybe more. But yeah, initially this was only like $29.99, I think. So yeah, that it goes to show that there were low prints on these, and then once they sold out, then you just never saw it again, and then people would triple the price on eBay. So
Sure.
definitely a tough time to collect for for stuff like this.
Yeah, that happened with a lot of these games. We have Tunic here. It has kind of a little holographic, I guess, little
That's cool.
cover. Tunic is kind of like like a love letter to the old Zelda games, which I mean is pretty obvious, with his little outfit here and everything. But I tried this one out. This is another one of those games, pretty dang hard actually. So it's a pretty tough Zelda clone game, but still I got a lot of respect for it. It's like really cool game. This edition is really fun too. It has like a map inside of it, but it's the map that mimics the map that you got with your NES Zelda game. So it's copied the style and everything, and so all the little parts in here kind of copy that whole NES Zelda game. So pretty cool. Had to have this in our collection too. And that one's a fan gamer only physical.
Yeah, really cool.
Okay, next up is Unicorn Overlord. I was really excited when I saw that this game was coming out. I hadn't really seen the developers Vanillaware make anything in quite a while, and I thought it was kind of exciting to see that they were working with Atlas again, because they also made the Odin Sphere games with Atlas, and those are really cool games. This is more of a strategy game from what I've seen, and yeah, I can't wait to play it. But this is one of those ones also I was very excited to see come to the Xbox Series X, and had to get the physical for it. But I think the price went to a reasonable point on this one, so we didn't have to pay a whole lot for it. Visions of Mana. This is one that we did kind of pay like full price for, because I think this was the one I was thinking of rather than the Life is Strange. It was this one where I was calling the GameStops. It was this one first, where I was calling the GameStops to see who had the steelbooks, basically, that they would be willing to give us one of the steelbooks if we came in and bought the game, basically.
But they had most of them for PS5, right? Not so much for Series X.
Yeah, exactly. And so it was tough to find a store that had a Series X game, steel shrink wrap, not a floor copy, plus had the steelbook that they would be willing to give to us, because this steelbook is actually really amazing for this game. It's really beautiful. It's this pure gold one and really cool artwork on it. So I really wanted it. I had my heart set on it, and we made it happen. And I love the Legend of Mana games. I should say that. I love the Mana games, so that's why we have it.
And here we have Watch Dogs Legion. Again, same thing with the other Ubisoft games. I'm a little bit behind. I still have to play Watch Dogs 2. And I think we were all kind of excited about Watch Dogs Legion, but we kind of... It kind of came and went, though. You just never hear anyone talk about this game anymore. So, I'll get to this one eventually, but I guess I'm not too excited about it if I haven't jumped on it yet. So, but at least Watch Dogs 2 is supposed to be good, but yeah, I'll get to this one eventually. And our son, he likes Watch Dogs, but he was like, no, I'm not interested in this one. So
no, I think he tried it, and he was just like, nope. I think this one's set in London, so we were like, oh, this should be cool,
Yeah.
But I guess just didn't hit that mark.
No.
All right, last one here. We have Yakuza Like a Dragon. And funny thing about this one is a friend of mine recently started playing this game and was texting me about it, being like, oh my gosh, you gotta play this game. It's super great. I forgot we even had the physical of it. So I started on Game Pass when it literally is giving me the warning saying this game's leaving Game Pass.
It left 2 days after you started it, but I was like, hey, you do know we have the Steelbook edition here.
I was like, oh man, this is bummer, it's leaving Game Pass. And you were like, we have the Steelbook version of this game.
Yeah. I know Limited Run, I think it is Limited Run that's doing like prints for all the Xbox, not all the Xbox versions, but all the previously released PlayStation games. They're coming to Xbox physically as well, so Limited Run is doing that. But I think I bought most of these digitally as well. But
I had never really gotten into any of the Yakuza games before this one. I wasn't sure if it was really going to be my thing, but no, they really are. These are great, fun games, and I think a really unique kind of take on like an RPG style game.
This one's very different than the other ones, though. But I know people liked it, and it sounds like you liked it, and
yeah, no, really fun. So yeah, this one surprised me, and I'm glad that we own the Steelbook even of it. So super cool. And so that's what we have for Xbox Series X, at least what we wanted to fit into this highly curated 2 shelves, plus some of our special editions.
And hopefully we inspired you guys to try some of these games and maybe even collect some of them as well. So we have enjoyed it the last 4 or 5 years, and it's a great console to play games on. And we tried to curate as much as possible here. Only 2 shelves, so that's awesome. Thanks for watching. We'll be back soon with more videos. Take care, everyone.
Bye.